stroll through the Brevard Art Museum, a trip back into Florida's past through movies, or laughing until your cheeks hurt at a Saturday night comedy show. Hi, I'm Suzy Fleming Leonard, and welcome to Today in Brevard Entertainment. These are just a few of your entertainment options this weekend. We're going to tell you all about these and more as our show progresses. But right now, let's check in with Jennifer Sangalang and find out what our crew at Metromix has been up to. Jennifer, what's the night owl been doing?
Well, the night owl, Casey Dakotas, stopped by Dondi's Downtown in downtown Melbourne, formerly known as Moonstruck Wine Bar and Cafe.
That's right, they've changed names, haven't they?
They have. He stopped by there on Thursday night for their hip-hop night. And as you can see from these photos, people are having a wicked, wicked cool time.
Sounds like a lot of fun, but what about the Zap Squad? Where was our Zap Squad this weekend?
Oh, we stopped by a few places, including Beer Fest at Melbourne Square Mall and the Cocoa Beach Air Show in Cocoa Beach.
You know, it can't be easy having as much fun as our Zap Squad and our Night Owl.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, what's up for this weekend?
Well, for starters, it's Friday Fest in downtown Melbourne, and you can expect a rock climbing wall, music, food and fun, stuff for the kids, good time. You
know, those Friday Fests are always so much fun, and I always see people that I haven't seen in months when I go to those.
This month's theme is the Addams Family versus the Munsters. Ooh.
October. So.
Yeah.
Well, and what about this event in Cocoa Beach?
You must be talking about Slow and Low Barbecue's 5th year anniversary.
I can't believe they've been around for 5 years.
I know, serving all that good barbecue and all that good food for 5 years. They're going to celebrate with a luau starting Friday night. The Zap Squad will be there at 9 o'clock.
Sounds like it's going to be a very cool party.
Well, they're going to have a hula contest, a limbo contest, and an ugly Hawaiian shirt contest too. An
excellent opportunity to kind of release the stress and get out those frustrations from the work week.
Yeah, if you need another suggestion for blowing off some steam, I got another one for you.
Let's hear it.
Paintball.
Okay.
Sorry. You want to see this next video?
Sure, let's check it out.
All right.
I'm Shauna Maggard.
And I'm Tim Walters with Metromix Brevard.
And we're here at Combat Zone Paintball on Merritt Island, and I'm here with Derek Walls. So can you tell us what you need to get started with paintball?
A good attitude and the ability to want to come out and compete with other people is probably the first thing that you want to have. And then, of course, you want good supplies. Having the right type of gun, mask, and equipment and gear can make you or break you as a player.
And tell us about some of the safety and some of the equipment that you have here so people would know the proper way to go about starting paintball.
Well, the first misconception in paintball is that people think that it hurts really bad, and it doesn't. It sort of feels like a big rubber band being snapped on your arm. People, I've seen them come out with bulletproof vests and body armor and stuff from the war. And in reality, the only thing you really need is a good face mask.
All right. You're going down, Walters.
I don't think so. That's a sinking ship over there, Maggard. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, once we get out, we're going to have to put our mask down before we go on the field. So let me hold your guns for you real quick. Go ahead and put your mask in the ready position. There you go. One of the rules in paintball is your mask has to be on and down before you step out onto the field. I'm going to get the gate for you. We're going to go out onto the X-ball field. We're going to leave our safety devices installed until we get on the field. On the field, we can take our safety devices off. We're going to go ahead and cock the hammer back. You got a safety button here. Red is dead, meaning the gun's able to shoot. You push it back through, the gun's unsafe. So when you're ready to fire, you push this through. When you see that, you can just take aim right over there at that bunker. I'll show you what it feels like.
Like that? Ooh.
Just like that. The nice thing about paintball is you can actually see your round compared to smaller things, so you can see where you're heading at. So she's looking for a straight shot angle. You're looking at anybody that might be trying to shoot her off to the side. Fire it.
Great.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, that looked like a little bit too much fun, but I gotta tell you, I don't believe Derek. I think that those paintballs might sting a little bit if they hit you. Well, right now we're going to take you to a little bit tamer video. We're going to introduce you to Mildred Richardson. She's a local artist who's been painting in Brevard County for more than 50 years, and her work is currently on view at the Brevard Art Museum. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to Ben Brotemarkle, and he's going to tell you about a Florida film festival that's going on in Cocoa Village.
The Brevard Art Museum is getting ready to show more than 70 works by Melbourne artist Millie Richardson.
If you love art, just explore it and do it and enjoy it.
It's the artist's first museum exhibition. At 89, Millie said she's pretty excited.
Right now I'm doing acrylic, and I love it. I've also, I do computer art. And there's going to be a couple pictures in there, and I've got some. I like because I can play with it, erase it, and redo it, and zoom around with it.
Mildred Richardson, Life and Thoughtful Art, runs through October 25th at the Brevard Art Museum.
I'm joined now by Ben Brotemarkle. He's the executive director of the Florida Historical Society, and you'll have some really cool things going on at the library of Florida History.
Correct.
In Cocoa Village, and this film festival that you have that's going through the month of October.
That's right. Well, the Library of Florida History is the statewide headquarters of the Florida Historical Society, and we're the oldest cultural organization in the state. We were established in 1856 and moved all around the state for a long time, but we've been in Brevard County for about 15 years, and it's our permanent home now. And we have a beautiful facility there at the Library of Florida History in Cocoa. It's an old Art Deco post office. It was created as part of the WPA project in 1939 and was an old post office and federal building, and that's where we're having this film festival.
And now this library, it's one of those places that people pass day after day, visiting Cocoa Village, hanging out in the shops and the restaurants down there. What would you find if you went to visit the library?
Well, if you go in there, as I say, it's a beautiful old building, and we have a bookstore, the Print Shop Bookstore, where you can find all sorts of books and gifts about Florida, based on Florida history and Florida culture and Florida-related topics. And just by the bookstore is our research library, and we have thousands of rare and out-of-print books there that you can do Florida research at the library. Up in the mezzanine, we have maps dating back to the 1500s.
Oh, wow.
We have many old photographs, old postcards, just a really fantastic archive there.
What's the purpose of the film festival?
The idea is to bring people into the Library of Florida History who might not come otherwise, but once they get there, once we get them in the door, we can usually keep them coming back and enjoying what we have in the library and the Florida Historical Society. And we started last Friday night with The Rose Tattoo, which was a great old film from 1955 that was filmed in Key West, and it was based on a very passionate Tennessee Williams play. And they toned down the sexual content a bit for the film version because this was 1950s Hollywood, but it was still a very passionate story. And this Friday we have The Barefoot Mailman, which is a film from 1951, and it's based on the Theodore Pratt novel. And again, it has a tie to Florida history because the Barefoot Mailmen were real. They were a series of mail carriers who carried the mail from Palm Beach to the Miami area in the late 1800s when there were no roads.
So it's a movie and it's a history lesson, but it's not like the history lessons that in school you would fall asleep through.
We have a lot of fun with it.
It really brings it to life and makes it entertaining. And then next week you've got Beneath the 12-Mile Reef.
We do, October 16th, and it's a very dramatic story that's set among the sponge divers in Tarpon Springs. And so that should be a lot of fun. It was one of the very first films shot in CinemaScope, so that'll be fun. And it stars Robert Wagner and Terry Moore. Then on the 23rd, we're going to have a lot of fun with Follow That Dream. It's an Elvis Presley film. He made 33 films, and of course none of them are considered to be cinematic masterpieces by any stretch of the imagination.
Love Elvis?
But
Elvis.
This one is better than most, though. It's based on a satirical novel by Richard Powell, and it does feature 6 Elvis Presley songs, but shot in Florida, and has some interesting Florida themes in it as well.
And then the last film in the series, I'm intrigued by this. It's going to show on October 30th, the night before Halloween.
Right.
The Cape Canaveral Monster, filmed in 1960.
Right, and if you haven't heard of it, there's pretty good reason, because this film is so bad, it's good. I mean, it should be a lot of fun. The Cape Canaveral Monsters is a horribly bad sci-fi alien invasion type film, but it does have stock footage from NASA. So it's got real, stock footage, but it's clearly not filmed in Florida. They're supposed to be at the Cape, and there's cliffs and rocks on the beaches. It's hilarious. It really is. And Pat Duggins, who for many years has been at WMFE, he just went up to Alabama to take a job up there, but he covers space for NPR, and he'll be introducing the film. And he also has a book called Final Countdown: NASA and the End of the Space Shuttle Program. So he's a space expert, but he's also going to be looking at this in a very tongue-in-cheek way. Of course, like I say, it's so bad it's good. It's a very funny film.
And what better way to celebrate Halloween than
exactly.
with a Cape Canaveral monster?
There you go.
Maybe that could be my Halloween costume. I've been trying to come up with something. That would be perfect. Well, Ben, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
When are these movies showing? When can?
Oh, the programs start at 7 o'clock every Friday night in October, and we'll be doing it again in April. But we hope to see folks down there. We had a great audience for the Rose Tattoo, and hope to keep it up for the rest of the month. And we'll love to see people down there at 7 o'clock each Friday night.
Well, thank you again for joining us. I hope Friday's movie and the rest of them for the rest of the month are great successes. And we're going to leave you now with we're going to give you a sample now of what you might see with a clip from The Barefoot Mailman.
Friends, may I have quiet, please? I hate to interrupt the dancing even for a moment, but since all of the residents of Miami are present this evening, I have an announcement to make I think you will all be vitally interested in. The Miami Amalgamated Improvement of Land and Investment Corporation Limited is now in pretty good shape. We still have, of course, a few doubting Thomases like old Bacardi here. But please don't laugh. This is his privilege. We only want people to come in of their own free will. Now, there's been some sort of vague rumor floating around that a railroad might come to Miami. I guess that's a secret that just leaked out. But here's one secret that didn't leak out. Actual construction from Titusville south will begin the 15th of next month.
Well, I guess that settles it. Here's my deed.
Congratulations, Zoe.
And here's my money.
What's in? What proof have you got the railroad's coming in?
$1,000 invested. Do I look like the kind of man to throw my money away?
You got any proof like that, Stevie?
Well, don't worry about losing your job, Stephen. We'll find something for you to do.
I love old movies, and it's just an added bonus that with this film series, you get a little bit of Florida history added in. Well, let's see, so far in today's show, we have shot at you with paintballs, we've toured an art museum, and we've gone to the movies. Now we're going to make you laugh. At least I hope we are. Joining me are a few guys from the Laughing Tiki Comedy Club.
Hello.
I've got Ted Holum and Peter Hefty and Justin.
Yeah, thank you.
And they're going to be doing a show on the Space Coast this weekend, and we're going to talk a little bit about it.
Yes,
So,
over at the Radisson.
tell me what's going on. What's your comedy all about?
Well, I do regular stand-up comedy. I do a solo stand-up, and it's a lot of observation stuff and kind of one-liners. I do one-liners, and it's a clean show. I worked 14, 15 years on cruise ships, so I've geared my show to be a clean family show.
And you said you were originally from Chicago.
From Chicago, yeah.
Now you have a place on Merritt Island.
Merritt Island. I'm a Merritt Island guy, Florida guy.
Rocking the Hawaiian shirt.
Yep. That's kind of been my thing since I started working on the ships. I kind of got into that Hawaiian look, and it seems to fit me pretty good. And I was up in Chicago for my whole life up there. I had 2 comedy clubs up there, and that's where I met Peter about 30-some years ago. And we've been friends and stayed in touch ever since. But I've been wanting to, him and I have been talking about putting together some shows together, because we complement each other, and sometimes at the end of the shows we'll get up and work together and do some improv together.
Well, Peter, tell us a little bit about Justin and
Well, I've been with Justin many, many years, and yeah, a long time. Yeah, yeah. And I have a good time working with him. Is that an earring in your ear? Are you trying to be cool? Are you trying to be hip? No, that's a nail to keep the ear on. Oh, okay. All right. You all right? It's your throat. Do what you want. Okay, we don't need to do material. She wants to know about you. He's been around a long time. He's been around a long time. And he does impressions and comedy in the show, and I do a lot of stand-up comedy also, but mostly it's with ventriloquism. If I'm not working with Justin, I have Hoodoo, the mind reader, and I have Mr. Mushi, who's my kind of my Oriental advisor from the Orient. Those are my main characters in the show right now.
And you were showing us, before we went on camera, you were showing us another part of your act, another member of your team.
Oh, this new guy here. He's kind of new to the show. He's just a little microphone, and he's kind of like one of those old classic microphones, right?
Yeah.
You ready?
All right.
Want to do a quick impression? Do the blues. All right. I'm gonna sing a song that you can't sing. That's true. How about you do somebody famous, like Ray Charles? Georgia, Georgia, no T-shirt down, no T-shirt. Georgia on the line. He also can do Kermit the Frog. I like his Kermit. Kermit? Kermit the Frog here.
And you were telling us that ventriloquism is kind of making a comeback right now?
Absolutely. I just got back from Las Vegas. I was at the Palace Station, working there for 3 nights, doing a comedy show, and we were sold out every show. And part of it is people heard there was a ventriloquist. Now, they don't really know me, but they heard there was a ventriloquist, so they came out to see it. And down the street from where I was performing, of course, is the Mirage Hotel, and Terry Fader just signed a $100 million contract for 5 years. He won America's Got Talent, the ventriloquist. And then, of course, you've got Jeff Dunham, the ventriloquist, who has a Comedy Central special coming out again. And he also just signed a deal at Caesar's Palace. So I think ventriloquism is really making a comeback. I really do.
Oh, yeah. Finally, they think you guys are all right again.
Yeah. For a long time, it had that stigma of the scary movies, you know? And I think that's just the thing that kind of brought it down. It was like the Twilight Zone thing. But now I think people are enjoying it again. Because it's family friendly, it's fun for everybody. Whether you're old or young, you know, people like it.
Well, can you give us a preview of what the act's going to be like, or what the show's going to be like this weekend?
I guess you could do a little bit there. You know, I mean, I'm a little tight right here. I'm so sorry. I've been eating too much lately. You know.
The cruise ships.
Yeah. Well, my girlfriend told me I had such a cute butt. I grew one in the front for her. So that's what happened there. That's what's going on there. And Peter just got back from Las Vegas. He had a nice flight in, and I don't like to fly, by the way. I was very lucky my last flight, though. I had a direct flight coming in from Chicago, and I had a lady sitting next to me. She says, "Ted, I've been sitting for 3 hours. I think my butt fell asleep." And I said, "I know. I heard it snoring just a minute ago."
Well, and you're going to be at the Radisson at the Port?
The Radisson at the Port, yes, Saturday night, the 10th of October. One show at 8 o'clock.
Right.
And there's also another comedian on with us.
Oh, yeah.
Homer Noodleman. I worked with Homer on, if a lot of people maybe from this area might have sailed out on the Dolphin cruise ship out of Port Canaveral. It was there for about 8-10 years, and Homer was a mainstay there. He's a British comedian, variety act. He does everything. So I think maybe some people might remember him if they did that ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully this is right now just scheduled to do one to see how it's received, and if it goes well, we hope to do it on a semi-regular basis over there.
And you've worked with some pretty big names over the years.
Yeah, I was on the Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, and I toured with the Beach Boys and Ray Charles and Reba McEntire. I was on Oprah show and.
So who does a better interview, Oprah or me?
Oh, you by far. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's neat to be able to do a gig together, especially in Ted's new adopted hometown.
Merritt Island,
Merritt Island, yeah.
Yeah, which I love. I love Merritt Island. I really like being down here.
He lives in paradise, so he's lucky.
He really is.
Well,
again, I hope you have a great show. Thanks for coming in and talking to us today. It's going to be 8 o'clock Saturday at the Radisson at Port Canaveral.
All right.
And unfortunately, we're out of time now. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
If you need more information about the things we've talked about on today's show, you can visit our website at floridatoday.com or brevard.metromix.com. And of course, you can pick up a copy of TGIF and Friday's Florida Today. From all of us at Florida Today and Today in Brevard, have a great weekend.